What's up, fuckers, and welcome back to another rebuild here on NBA 2K23 Next Gen. In today's video, we have a fun one. This is not just a normal rebuild. We are finally going to be getting into some rebuild challenges, and today, we have a really good one. It's the 82-0 challenge, but we're going to be doing this in 5 years. I know you guys have been asking for both. Some rebuild challenges, some 5-year rebuilds. I thought, why not? Let's combine the best of both worlds today and do them in one video. So the 82-0 challenge is always one of my favorite ones to do just because it's so hard. I've gotten really close before. I think I've gone 80-2 before. I don't think I've ever done better than that. So we're going to try to get to 82-0 today. We have 5 years. We're going to be doing a fantasy draft rebuild. I will randomly select my team. And this one is exciting because this is always one of my favorites. And real quick, of course, before we do get in the video, as always, you guys are new around here, if not yet subscribed to the channel, we'd love to have you hit that sub button, stick around a while. On top of that, let me know some other fun rebuild challenges you guys have down below in the comment section. Of course, I'll continue to do the current rebuilds. I'll continue to do the historic rebuilds, but I love rebuild challenges the most, from being honest with you. Let's see what you got. Let me know down below in the comment section. But without further ado, man, we're going to randomly select a team. I am going to make the first 3 draft picks, then we'll send the rest. Let's hop into this. So obviously I have no idea what team has what pick. That's why we're going to go ahead. We're going to randomly select a team. So let's just go ahead and do that. As you can see, my eyes are closed. We are going to randomly sort through these teams. And we will stop in 3, 2, and 1. And we end up with the Toronto Raptors. So we will use them today. We are going to go ahead, sim all the way up to our draft pick and see hopefully that we have a decent enough pick here. And it does not look like we have a very good pick, unfortunately. Which does kind of suck, but okay. This feels like the obvious pick here in Zion Williamson. We all know how well he progresses in this game. He turns into an absolute monster, if he's not already an absolute monster. So we can look at some of the guys that we kind of missed out on. They're a little bit close to us. I'm surprised Chris Paul went this high. That's a little funny. You know, a lot of these do make sense. It's just interesting to see. So let's go ahead. I'm going to take Zion. I think it makes the absolute most sense with a 5-year rebuild. We're going to see continue to see him progress. He's locked up on a long-term contract. Zion Williamson, welcome to the Toronto Raptors. We're also getting one of the top picks here in the next round. So 5-year rebuild, it's nothing like a 10-year rebuild where we really have to go ahead and make sure that we have somebody who's super, super young. But I'd like to go ahead and get somebody who's not going to continue or start to regress a ton. So let's look at some of the options here. We obviously have our power forward set. We could also sort by age here and kind of see who are some of the real young studs here. Jabari Smith Jr., we all know he progresses well. Paolo Banchero, we know he's going to progress well. But I feel like we have the power forward set. I want to keep Zion there. Could go somebody like Jalen Green or Josh Giddey, who I know is going to be a stud. But I almost feel like I could maybe get them in the next round. Maybe could go somebody like Chet Holmgren. I think these are all really good options for us here. Let's just look at the 21-year-olds just to kind of solidify this and make sure that there's nobody here I'd rather have. Ooh. I might just take Cade Cunningham. You know what? Yeah. I'm not going to wait on it. I know how good he's going to end up being, so I'd rather get the young talent now, and then we'll see who's kind of maybe some of the lower young talents here in our 3rd and final round of this draft. But we have 2 really good picks, 2 guys that I know progress really well, and now so we have our point guard or shooting guard, whatever you want to classify Cade as, in our power forward. So let's look at some of these other options here. If Chet Holmgren's still here, I'll probably end up taking him. I don't know if he is, but he is. I think this makes sense. I don't play with injuries on, so it doesn't really matter. And you know what? Chet Holmgren's going to be my guy. That's going to be the draft for me. I'll see you guys what the rest of this team looks like. So we went ahead and we made 3 of our draft picks. And they were 3 really good draft picks and 3 really draft picks that I'm excited about for the 5 years in this rebuild. We drafted Zion, we drafted Cade, and we drafted Chet. Here's how the rest of the team's looking. It's Josh Hart, Seth Curry, we have KPJ, nice young piece, Alex Caruso, JaMychal Green, KCP, Naz Reid. I mean, overall-wise, it's a pretty good team. I think it's a good mix of some veteran pieces, some really nice young talent. Overall-wise, I'm not saying we're going to hit 82-0, but this is a really good, really fast start to that ultimate goal. So we'll probably make a couple trades before we do kickoff year 1. Of course, we don't have to win a championship or anything. Of course, that is nice, and you'd expect if you're getting anywhere close to 82 wins that you'd probably win a championship in that season. But you know what we're going to try to do right now is maybe trim out some of the edges of this team, maybe acquire some draft picks, because thankfully I was also smart enough to turn off previously traded draft picks, so every team has just their own draft picks. Thank God I did that. I deserve a round of applause for that now. I'm just kidding. But you know what this team looks like now. We are going to make a trade or 2. Let's get into it. What I'm going to do right now, as I mentioned, is just try to acquire as many draft picks as possible. I think having all those draft picks as ammunition is a huge start to rebuilds like this. And especially when we have 5 years, do not need to go 82-0 in the first season. We can do it in the 5th if we want. We can do it in the 3rd, fourth, whatever it may be. I think in order to acquire as many assets as possible, we might have to have a pretty bad season or two. So I'm not saying it's going to be a horrendous season, but what I am saying right now is if we can continue to trade some draft picks or trade some players for draft picks, I think it'll set us up nice in the future. So I'm just going to try to move on from as many players as possible right now who I don't really think are going to be here long term. Not a single draft pick for Jeremy Lamb. Come on, what are we doing here? How long is Rashawn Holmes? He's locked up, but I don't want to give up I don't even want to give up a second right now. How about Zeke Naji? He's 21, though. I feel like I can kind of make that happen. Who's my backup center right now? I have Naz Reid. You know what? Yeah, let's take Zeke Naji. We're going to do that, and then I'm going to see if I can get a draft pick for Naz Reid. And that might be one of our final trades here for year one, just strictly based off the fact that I don't think maybe I'll move one of the either Green or I forget who our other backup power forward was. But 2 first-round draft picks here from the Memphis Grizzlies for Naz Reid. Really good trade right there. Again, these are just our backups, so it's not really that important to me. Would I rather move Kleber or would I rather move JaMychal Green? Probably JaMychal Green, strictly based on the fact that he's on a 1-year deal. So let's see if we can find a trade for him right now, and that'll probably be our last trade if I had to take a guess right now. So first round pick. Somebody wants him. Come on. Oh, son of a bitch. All right, how about if I trade for Isaiah Roby? Somebody will definitely give me a first for Isaiah Roby. Again, I'm just trying to kind of make the most out of what this team kind of has right now, and I'm trying not to include a lot of assets going out and trying to get a lot to come in. So if we can't find anything here for Isaiah Roby, I'll try to find somebody who's just on a multi-year contract. Honestly, I might even take Eric Gordon just so I have control of them in the offseason. And this is a pick swap. I don't really want to do a pick swap. Oh boy, you can't afford hypothetically this, can you? Can we just do this? And how about if I throw in a couple? Nope, did not mean to do that. How about if I throw in a second? Would you be interested in this? And there you're at. All right, cool. We got that all set. Let's set this rotation. It's a little bit of a weird looking rotation here at the start of year one. We have some players that are not in this rotation that probably should be in this rotation, but I kept them on this team in order to make some trades this offseason. Here's how it's going to look. This team's not going to go anywhere close to 82-0. But I think in the future, there's that possibility. It's Cade Cunningham, Seth Curry, Josh Hart, Zion Williamson, and Chet Holmgren. Not a bad starting 5. Bench unit, Kevin Porter Jr., Alex Caruso, Zeke Naji, Maxi Kleber, and Chuma Ukiki. Guys like KCP are not getting minutes here. The rest of the roster will be filled out automatically just because I traded so many guys for picks. The CPU will sign people, and they're not going to get minutes. But let's go ahead, start 7 year one. I think this could be a really good year. This may be the one time I'm not mad to see Luka winning an MVP because he's in a Celtics jersey, and it looks pretty good. I can't even lie about it. I have no idea what our record was. I was scrolling through Twitter. I'm not going to lie. Paolo Banchero, rookie here in Golden State. It's always funny to see guys just in other teams' jerseys. See how good they actually look. Markelle Fultz, 6th man of the year in Detroit. Anthony Davis, defensive player of the year. Actually looks pretty clean at OKC jersey. A lot. I like those jerseys a lot, though. Peyton Pritchard, most improved. Billy Donovan. Coach of the year. Looks like the Bulls were pretty good this year. Were we good, though? That's what really matters right now. Who are we? The Raptors? Oh. We were that bad? Oh, come on, 2K. What are you doing to me right now? Looks like the West was worse, so it looks like we're somewhere around like that 6th overall pick projection, but like, really? You know, I don't even mind being not so good here in year one, strictly based off the fact that I know having a high draft pick will help us out a lot. Let's look at the numbers. Obviously, our 2 studs average a lot of points a game. They're both really good. Neither of them are going to go anywhere. Chet Holmgren, pretty good rookie campaign. 13 points, 8.5 rebounds. We need to see him continue his progression. I'll be happy. KPJ, Seth Curry, Josh Hart. These are probably the 2 starting positions I'd like to upgrade, and that's strictly based off the fact that, you know, I'm trying to go 82-0. In another world where I'm just trying to win a championship, I might not need to, but we got to do it today. So let's get into the offseason after we sim these playoffs. Zach LaVine wins Western Conference Finals MVP, and Paul George in Orlando, Eastern Conference Finals MVP. The Orlando Magic go on to win the finals, and Paul George finally gets that ring, has a very impressive 6 games, and does win Finals MVP. So let's get into the offseason. Player retirements. Lou Williams, he was on this team. I had no idea. It was probably one of those players that 2K kind of just signed for me. Let's go ahead and hit the draft lottery, because obviously this is a very important lottery. We're currently projected number 7. Could we move up? Is it a possibility? It is not. We actually fall down to 8. Awesome. We'll head into staff signing right now. I think Nick Nurse is a good head coach. We're not going to move on from him. We actually kind of got lucky in the head coaching department for this video. We do have the 8th overall pick. Would I like to move up? You know what? I think I would. Excuse me. And if I'm thinking I'm targeting somebody here, it honestly might be Scoot Henderson. I'm thinking I can move Cade Cunningham to that shooting guard spot. Let's find a trade. The number 2 overall pick is owned by the San Antonio Spurs. I know that sometimes Scoot Henderson goes number 1. I'm hoping he does not today. And I'd like to go ahead and get him here. As I mentioned, I'd like to move Cade to that shooting guard spot. So let's go ahead. I'll throw KCP into this trade. And I'm doing a trade like this because I really think it's going to help us out in the future. I'm going to see if I can maybe not include any other firsts, and it doesn't have to happen. So now we have a big moment of truth. Who's number 1 on the clock here? Because this is kind of make or break for me. Not that I'm going to be mad if I get Victor Wembanyama. I can figure something out with him and Chet. Let's see. The Los Angeles Clippers are on the clock, and they take Victor Wembanyama. So Scoot Henderson, officially a Toronto Raptor, wherever the hell he is. Oh, he's right. I was on it. I was like, where the hell did he go? Scoot Henderson, welcome to the team. That's our one and only draft pick of the 2023 draft. It's the only draft pick we need. We are now going to go ahead. We are going to move Cade Cunningham to the shooting guard spot. He actually goes up to an 85. And let me just change his secondary position just in case he needs to run with the second unit or whatever it may be. So we are all set there. Let's hit rookie signings. Henderson's a 78. Team player options, Cunningham, Hart, Okiki, and Zeke Naji all going to be coming back. And I think the one thing we're probably going to do right now is try to set ourselves up for an upgrade maybe at that small forward spot. And it's not necessarily because I think that Josh Hart can't handle it, but we need an upgrade. And I'd like to make it. So we look at the money we have right now. We have about 17-ish million bucks. There's also some money we could clear up right now, hypothetically. I mean, I'm paying guys like Maxi Kleba, 11 million, 4 million here. I mean, I could clear up money if I wanted to, but I think I'd rather kind of maybe combine some assets and try to go ahead and trade for an upgrade at small forward there. So let's see what we can find. Brandon Ingram would be a huge upgrade at our small forward spot. He'd also be a huge final piece in this starting lineup for the 5 years remainder of this video. I confidently can say if we get him, our starting 5 is set for the remainder of this video. We'll just have to work on the bench, which is a really good spot to be in. So I know I'm going to have to give up some draft picks here, which is ultimately fine. I'd be more than willing to give up my unprotected first next year, and that's because I'm confident this team's going to be good. Let's go ahead and see if we can maybe get his way with as minimal trades as possible or traded picks as possible. It might have to include 4. Would I rather have a first-round pick or Zeke Naji? I'd honestly rather have Zeke Naji at this point. Will they do this? And they do. So it's a lot to give up. I know it is. But Brandon Ingram's a huge upgrade at the starting small forward spot. Look at this. We have our starting 5 now set for the remainder of this video. If we look at this roster, what I'm going to kind of do right now is fill out the bench a little bit. Ultimately, I think a 9-man rotation would work. I typically win more games in 9-man rotation. So Zion, not going to have a backup. What I need to find right now is a backup shooting guard. And they'll kind of be all set. So let's look at some options here. I could just bring back Seth Curry. Honestly, he'd be a good shooter out the bench. Let's bring back Seth Curry. And yeah, we're basically all set at this point going into year 2. You know what? We're in year 2 out of 5 now. We're heading into year 2 out of 5 now. And we have a really, really good future set up for ourselves. So that is it for now. I will see you guys at the rotation. Here we are in year 2. We made some pretty big moves this offseason. We got the number 2 overall pick and got Scoot Henderson. We traded for Brandon Ingram. And overall-wise, this team is set up beautifully. Is this the 82-0 year? No, probably not. But what we do have right now is a really good base. And I think that we might be able to get there at some point in time if we make all the right moves. So let's see how it's going to look for year 2. It's Scoot Henderson, Cade Cunningham, Brandon Ingram, Zion Williamson, and Chet Holmgren. Really dynamic, really young, really good starting 5. Bench unit, Kevin Porter Jr., Zeke Naji, I can't speak this early in the morning, Seth Curry, Chuma Okiki, and then we have guys like Macklemore, Joseph, Iggy down here. It's a really fun team. I will see you guys at the end of year 2. Once again, it is Luka Doncic winning the MVP award, and once again, I didn't see a record. I'm sorry, I'll try to be better. Victor Wembanyama does win Rookie of the Year. He went number 1 overall to the Clippers, as you all saw. You know, if I didn't have Chet Holmgren, I definitely would have probably tried to get him. Unfortunately, Scoot Henderson is probably not just as good, but he's a tier behind him. Cole Anthony, 6th man of the year. Anthony Davis, 2nd straight. Depoy, Josh Giddey, most improved. We got 62-20. So there's our record. It was a very good year. Is that 82-0? Is that the challenge? No. It does not matter. Of course, it would be fun to win a championship, but I'm not going to be satisfied until we get really close to that 82-0 mark. So let's look at the numbers. Zion and Cade lead the charge in scoring, followed by Brandon Ingram, Chet Holmgren. Really good year. 14-10 in his sophomore season. I will take that. Scoot Henderson, pretty good rookie year. 12 points, 5 boards, 6 assists. Fine by me. KPJ, Naji, Seth Curry, and Chuma Okiki. We look at the rebounds. It was Chet Holmgren, and assists was Cade Cunningham. So we weren't even in the playoffs last year. This year we're the 1 seed. We have the Detroit Pistons here in round 1. Marcus Smart, Ant, RJ Barrett, Bobby Portis Jr., Tillman. They got Fultz off the bench, Derek Livers, Rui, or is it Livers? I think it's Derek Livers. I apologize. Let's go game by game with them right now. We're up 3-0, and they might win a game. we are on to the next round. I know who the Celtics have, and it's Luka Doncic. They also have Klay Thompson, Benedict Mathurin, K. Love. When actually they've put a pretty good core, I will say, around Luka Doncic. They've actually done a pretty decent job. I like Luka having a shooter next to him. Not that he's not a shooter, but you know what I'm saying. I like having somebody like Klay Thompson next to him. So we're actually down 3-2 right now. We're going to a Game 7 and we lose. I mean, in any other world, I'd probably be pretty pissed about that, but I'm really not today just because that's not really the goal. Ja Morant and the Indiana Pacers do go on to win the finals, and yeah, it is time for offseason number 2. Typically, this would be our final offseason. Today, it is not. Iggy calls it a career. He was just one of the people that 2K signed for me. I don't think I traded for any lottery picks. Of course, I will check, but I do not believe that. Yeah, no. Cavs, Sixers, Mavericks, Pelicans, Rockets is your top 5. Let's head into staff signing. Make sure Nick Nurse is still locked up. He has 1 year left on his deal, and we are good there. So, do we have any draft picks? I wouldn't maybe mind bolstering the bench a little bit if we do. We actually do not have any draft picks this year, so we're not going to be drafting anybody, which is honestly fine. I can kind of work the same angles in free agency, but I don't think a ton really needs to be done with this team. I think this team is kind of set up beautifully, honestly. So I do want to pay both Zeke Naji and Chuma Okeke. I don't mind Zeke Naji being my backup. I think I can get somebody better than Chuma Okeke. So I am going to wait on both of them and then probably trade Chuma Okeke. But I definitely want to give them both real contracts here once we do get through moratorium. So Okeke wants, honestly, I'll give him around, I'll do $9.5 million a year. It's good money there. Zeke Naji wants just under 13, I should say. So hopefully we get both of them back. We do. That's ultimately really good. I believe this entire core should still be intact. And it is. So what I might do right now, Seth Curry's getting a little old. I might try to trade him. As I mentioned, I might try to move on from Chuma Okeke as well. Let's see if we can find some trades. We're going to straight up do this trade here with the Washington Wizards. Dante DiVincenzo may not be the super young piece we're looking for, but overall wise, he is 6 years younger. And at this point in time, he's not going to regress, and I know Seth Curry will. So Dante DiVincenzo, welcome here to the Toronto Raptors. And I think that's a good new backup shooting guard. At this point in time, Chuma Okeke, I don't necessarily need to find a huge piece that I can really call my true backup small forward. I'm just looking for somebody who's, Spencer Dinwiddie, okay. Now, Spencer Dinwiddie could come in here and play an interesting part because I know I just traded for DiVincenzo, but this is a meaningless draft pick, and Spencer Dinwiddie's on a 2-year deal. The age does concern me a little bit at 31, but I'm feeling like he's good enough where it really might not matter at this point. So, you know what? Let me take Spencer Dinwiddie on this team. I think the most 80 overalls we can get, the better. And now, can Dante DiVincenzo get me some sort of small forward? If not, I'm going to take a draft pick for him because why the hell not? Terrence Davis is here. I averaged 12 points last year. I think I might prefer the draft pick. And what draft pick had this much value? It was the Chicago Bulls draft pick. How is this really a bad team? I don't really see that being a bad team, but that's just kind of my opinion. So let's just do 2 first-round picks here. How good are the Atlanta Hawks? I mean, they're all right, but you know what? Let's do that. And now I'll just sign somebody to be my backup small forward. Like somebody like Buddy Hield can maybe hopefully provide similar shooting to what Seth Curry did for us. Buddy Hield, welcome to the team. I'll see you guys at the start of year 3. This team is absolutely beautiful. I mean, there's really nothing I'd want to change about it right now. Obviously, I don't think we're quite near 82-0 yet, but a little bit more progression. I think we can get damn close. So here's how it's going to look. It's Scoot Henderson, Cade Cunningham, Brandon Ingram, Zion Williamson, and Chet Holmgren. Good starting 5. Bench unit also got better, in my opinion. KPJ, Spencer Dinwiddie, Zeke Naji, and Buddy Hield. This team should hopefully be close to 70 wins, I'd like to think. I'll see you guys at the end of year 3. I was fortunately able to see our record this year. We went 64-18. Unfortunately, there are no changes in the MVP department as Luka Doncic. Not a triple-double, though, so he's slacking a little bit. Xavier Booker, Rookie of the Year. Tyrese Proctor, 6-man. Really impressive 6-man campaign. Triple J, Defensive Player of the Year. Tyrese Proctor also wins Most Improved. Nick Nurse, 64-18, as I mentioned. But we're nowhere near our goal yet, so I'm still not content. Of course, I'd love to win a championship, but in the realm of things, it really does not matter. Let's take a look at the numbers. Zion, Cade, Ingram, Holmgren, Scoot Henderson, KPJ, Dinwiddie. I mean, overall-wise, love this team. I think what's helping me a lot is all the rookie contracts that are eventually going to kick me in the ass. That's a good team. Honestly, I'm just going to sim the rounds just because it's not really as important to me as going 82-0, as weird as that does sound. This is a pretty good team right here. But if I lose, I lose. I'm not going to be tremendously upset about it. This is the defending champions right here. Ja Morant basically carried that team, it looks like. And they beat us again. Or I don't know if they beat us last year, but Portland. Indiana Pacers go back-to-back. And we're into the third offseason. We have one more after this, and let's do it. let's hit the draft lottery. It looks like we have a lottery pick projected. That is via the San Antonio Spurs. I'm not sure if it's unprotected. But whatever. We have the 14th overall pick. Could we use an upgrade maybe somewhere? I don't know. Only time will tell. I do want to get Nick Nurse back. I think he's a very good head coach. So let me go ahead and hopefully just find him. And we will pay him a lot of money to hopefully return here. And he does. Let's head up to the draft with that 14th overall selection. Of course, I will use it. Who I draft, I have no idea. We can maybe look at some backups at some positions. Could also maybe draft a center like Jaden Williams. Sorry, I cannot pronounce that. Paul McNeil, Liam McNeely. Yeah, that's funny. Thinking positionally, there's really not a huge need anywhere. I like all of our backups, but let me just take Jaden Williams. He's going to come here. We have another draft pick. Oh, we have our own, Memphis Grizzlies pick. We will just trade this for a future Milwaukee Bucks pick. Let's sim to the rest of the draft and see what we are doing. We have a 76 overall Jaden Williams. Could he replace Zeke Nnaji maybe at some point in time? KPJ is getting $18+ million a year. It's a lot of money. Cade Cunningham. I'm going to give him a real contract strictly based off the fact that we have another year after this. And Brandon Ingram's a free agent. All right, now comes the time where we may run out of money. I'm going to give Cade the max, and then I'm going to decline it because I want to give him a real contract, so we should be good there. But I do have to do this every single time. So this is the point where I get stressed out because I know another team's going to give him a real contract, and hopefully he continues to accept ours. But I think we should be good if I do this for one more day. We max out Cade Cunningham. We don't accept. We don't renounce. And we're good now, and I can finally give him a real contract, and I can finally pay him his money. All right, so we got the core of this team locked up still. There's really no changes that I can kind of see imminent. Do I want to go with Zeke Nnaji? Do I want to go with Jaden Williams? I think Jaden Williams will probably just chill on the bench for now, and then maybe he can either be a trade piece next year, or maybe I can go ahead and give him some minutes if I move on from Zeke Nnaji. But that is going to be it for now. I think Buddy Hield definitely has at least one more year left with this team, just strictly based off of age. Same thing with Spencer Dinwiddie. But as of now, no reason to make any changes. I'll see you guys at the start of year 4. It is the start of year 4. Is this the 82-0 team? The core is definitely here. We're going to actually do something fun. We're going to simulate until we lose a game. I think there's still some moves we can make this upcoming offseason that are definitely going to help solidify, hopefully closer to an 82-0 season. But I still like our chances. We're going to go ahead and simulate up to that point. You guys know what the rotation looks like. There's really no changes here. The regression on Dinwiddie's Hield is happening. They are both locked up past this season, so we can move on from them after. But what we're going to do right now, I will sit here with you guys until... See you guys at the end of year 4. After losing that first game, I'm a little bit nervous that it might happen again, but it's okay. It's fine by me. We're gonna work on the team this offseason, hopefully get closer to 82-0. Finally, a new MVP, Ja Morant, who's now won 2 championships with the Indiana Pacers. Those were never words I thought would come out of my mouth. Flory Benuga. Congratulations, Rookie of the Year. I have no idea who you are, but congratulations. You also win 6th Man of the Year. Chet Holmgren wins Depoy for us. Continuing to improve. You love to see it. Justin Edwards, most improved. Nick Nurse, we go 69-13. Nice. So we're definitely getting closer to the goal, but ultimately I really do kind of want to get as close as possible to 82 wins. 80 is my record as far as I know, and we will see. Zion, Cunningham, you know what all these guys do. You know what all of them look like, so there's really no point to kind of get into the particulars right now. And let's just go ahead and get through the playoffs, as weird as that sounds. That's a good team right there, but I think we are probably better. And I can say that probably about pretty much every single team. Orlando here, again, interesting team. We're probably just better. And we sweep them. Here come the Boston Celtics. We've already beat Luke. Did we beat Luke? No, we lost. Holy shit, they had an Anthony Davis. Okay, well, that scares me a little bit, and we sweep them. Chet Holmgren wins Eastern Conference Finals MVP. Ben Simmons, Western Conference Finals MVP. We got a rematch in the 2019 NBA Finals here. Oh, wow. They have made some additions here in Golden State. And we win. And Scoot Henderson wins Finals MVP. All right, so we got a championship. If anybody wanted a champion, did we not lose a game? I forgot to look. Did we not lose a game throughout that playoffs? That's funny. This is important right now. Ricky Rubio calls it a career. This is, without a doubt, the most important offseason. And it's an offseason. Oh, looks like we have a lottery pick. We are projected the 10th overall pick from the Atlanta Hawks. And that pick is ours. So what I might do right now, I think I can't fucking speak. I think I'm going to include it in a trade. And reason I'm going to do that is strictly based off the fact that whoever I draft right here is not going to be good enough to be on this rotation. I think I'm going to get rid of Dinwiddie and Hield right now. Oh wait, is Dinwiddie gone? Shit. Definitely Hield right now though. So let's try to find that upgrade. I do Buddy Hield, this draft pick, and honestly, I'll throw in Jalen Williams as well. Nothing, really? All right. Oladipo is just a little too old at this point. I could just get Josh Hart back, but he's 31. Trey Murphy. Trey Murphy's my guy, 100%. Welcome to the team. We also have the 30th overall pick. Who'd they draft for me? Sure, whatever. Team player options. KPJ and Henderson both coming back. KPJ is getting paid a lot of money. Holmgren's a free agent. I'm just going to give him his qualifying. It's the final year. There's really no reason not to, especially because we are in salary cap hell. So max contract here for Chet Holmgren, and then I'm going to go ahead and give him his qualifying. I'll also pay Spencer Dinwiddie if I can, and then I'm just going to go ahead and probably trade him as well. So we're all set. Holmgren's going to get that 17, almost $18 million qualifying offer. Thank God this is the final year. I would have ran into salary cap hell. At this point in time, let's see what we can do. I want to trade Spencer Dinwiddie, and I want to get an upgrade at the backup shooting guard spot. I will throw in Jalen Williams, and I'll throw in this Clippers draft pick. Honestly, they're making only like $8 million combined. Are there any really good players on rookie contracts that I could maybe trade for here that are not making a ton of money? Like Cason Wallace, honestly, might be my guy. If I do Dinwiddie and I do Jalen Williams, actually, this is probably going... Really? All right. Well, I know I can get it to go through. Welcome to the team, Cason Wallace. Do I need to make any more moves? Honestly, I don't think I do. I really don't. You know what? This is the core that this team was built on. These are my ride or die guys. Maybe I could go ahead and try to get an upgrade, as weird as it sounds, at the point guard or small forward spot, but he's won a Finals MVP. And Brandon Ingram, I don't think I'm really trading for anybody better. I mean, I can look at some options right here just to double check and make sure, but Brandon Ingram, 2 first-round picks, I don't really think I'm finding anything that I'd really rather have over Brandon Ingram. Zion Pippen. Okay. I'm assuming there's a relation to Scotty, but just seeing another Zion in the NBA absolutely terrifies me. Would I prefer Jaylen Brown? I don't know. Maybe, but Brandon Ingram's come this far. I'm not leaving him. I will see you guys at the start of the 5th and final year. This is it. This is year 5, the final season. We have not had any major changes in our starting 5 in a really long time, and that's because we have such a good starting 5. So, of course, I will simulate with you guys until we hopefully don't lose a game. So, hopefully we sim the entire year together. But here's how it's going to look. It's Scoot Henderson, Cade Cunningham, Brandon Ingram, Zion, and Chet Holmgren. I'm honestly surprised Brandon Ingram's not up to a 90 by this point. You'd think he would be. Cason Wallace, the guy we just traded for, going to be our new 6-man, followed by Zeke Naji, KPJ, and Trey Murphy. One of the best teams I've had so far in 2K23. And let's just see what happens here. We're simulating until we... No, are you fucking kidding me? The fucking Hawks? Who is on the goddamn Atlanta Hawks? Oh, that is just so bad. Oh, there's no way. This game hates me. This game hates me. I'll see you guys at the end of year 5. We could not go 82-0. I still can't believe that we lost that game to the Hawks. I know what our record was. It's one of my best records ever. And I'm still pissed about it. I'm happy that we did so well, but I felt like 82-0 was somehow within the realm of a possibility, and it sucks. I'm sure YouTubers have done it. I'm pretty sure I've seen Six Rings of Steel done it. Has Crushables done it? He might have done it. I'm sure Kenny's done it. Kenny's done everything. Let me know if there's any other ones or any other guys that have done it before. I'd love to check out those videos. I don't watch as much 2K as I probably should, but we went 79-3, by the way, which is an awesome season. It's just not 82-0. Chet Holmgren does win MVP. Cooper Flagg, Rookie of the Year. Flory Bendunga wins 6-Man of the Year. I think he won it last year as well. Chet Holmgren also wins his 2nd straight Depoy. VJ Miller, Most Improved, 79-3. It sucks. I was enjoying the shit out of this, and you know what? I thought if there was a moment we were ever going to do it, it was going to be this year. And we just could not quite get there. So I am a little bit disappointed. I'm not going to lie to you guys, but I did not mean to do that. Jesus Christ. But overall wise, we got close. And you know what? I can live with 79 wins. And unfortunately, it was not quite where we wanted to be, but it's probably as good as I was going to get. So, of course, we'll sim through the playoffs. And you win 79 games, you're expecting to hopefully win a championship. I cannot even imagine a team that's better than us at this point. Celtics were actually one of our losses. I saw it. I mean, it makes sense. They have a good team, but, like, we're just... Actually, are we better? Nah, we're better. I don't know. It hurts. Evan Mobley, Western Conference. Zion wins Eastern Conference. Let's look at the Grizzlies. Simmons. Yeah. There's just no way. It sucks, but it is what it is. Chet Holmgren wins Finals MVP. NBA Finals MVP. So, yeah, it sucks, but overall-wise, this is definitely one of my best teams I've built in 2K23 so far, and I enjoyed doing this rebuild challenge. If you guys enjoyed it, let me know down below in the comment section by suggesting some other challenges along with leaving a like on the video. That would be absolutely awesome. This video has definitely been long enough, so I will cut it off here. But, yeah, I had a ton of fun with this one. 79 wins. Pretty good. I'm happy with it. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys. I'll catch you guys all in the next one.